was the day of Mādhavendra Purī's departure. So, Brahma Madhya Sampradaya the first connection with Gauriya type of theism in Brahma Madhya Sampradaya we find in Mādhavendra Purī. Mādhavendra Puri's connection with Madhya Sampradaya is clear. Then we find the seed of rāga-bhakti. First we can trace in Mādhavendra Purī. In this famous slok, what Mahaprabhu himself pronounced and tasted, that is, when at the time of his departure Mādhavendra Purī is supposed to think in the line of this stanza. Oi dīna dayādra nātha, he Mathura nātha, kadāvalokasi, hridayam tadalūpakātaram, daita bhānmati kinkaram maham. While chanting this stanza, which is supposed to be composed by Mādhavendra Purī himself, you can Guru Maharaj, ওসব এখন বাদ দেন, আপনি ওদিকে বন্ধ করে নিজে দেখেন কাজ, ওটা বন্ধ করে দিয়েছেন? বন্ধ করে দিয়েছেন, আমি আপনাকে বলছি তো এখানে বেশি শব্দ করবেন না, নিচে নিয়ে যান। ওই দীন দয়ার্য নাথ হে মথুরা নাথ কদাবলোকসি হৃদয়ং তদলুকাতরং দ্বৈত ভ্রাম্যতি কিং করম মহম। Mādhavendra Purī. Oi dīna dayādra nātha, I am so helpless and hopeless, frustrated in my last day. I don't find any ray of any optimistic vision. I am almost cornered. And I have to pass away. But with what I am passing, what will I get here, my Lord? Quite disappointed I shall have to go. But he was so benevolent and so hard. Dīna dayādra nātha, he Mathura nātha. Now you are the Lord of Mathura. Perhaps you don't remember of the helpless and disappointed section who had no other alternative but to yourself. You are now King of Mathura. But what about us? He Mathura Natha, kadāvalokasi. We are waiting for the days, hoping against hope. The day that will dawn with your grace. Anyhow, we are sustaining. But it becomes almost impossible for us. Last moment. Come. Kadavalokkasi hridayantah adupakaram. Quite helpless. No consolation we can give to our aching heart. No other alternative. We can't find any alternative but your grace. Kadavalokkasi we don't feel ashamed now to clearly put forth our prayer to you. When will you remember us again? Kadavalokkasi hridayam tad alukakataram. We can't console our heart within. Alukakataram, duita, brahmati. Losing its balance. The heart losing its balance. Alukakataram. Perturbed to the extreme. Prasadam brahmati, kim karum maham. We don't find any ways and means how to set right our position, quite nonplussed, non-balanced, deranged. Such is our state. Vai dīna dayāja nātha, he mathura nātha, kadavalokkasi hridayam tad alukakataram daita, alukakaram daita brahmati. You are the Lord of our heart. So nothing private to you. You know everything. Daita. Without you, it is impossible for us to drag on our life. Everything known to you. As we have reached to the extremity of our patience. In this way, he is praying to Krishna. He is Mathura Natha. Of course, then he is posing with the gopis, siding with the gopis of Vrindavan. Mādhavendra Purī is supposed to do that. He has appealed to the Mathura Nath. And when he went to Mathura, necessarily the gopis was in the ocean of trouble and disappointment. So, espousing the cause of the gopis, at heart, he is feeling oneness with the gopis and praying to the Mathura Nath in this way. Mahaprabhu, when he went to Mathura, he repeatedly chanted this sloka. And showed his allegiance to Mādhavendra Purī. One gentleman whom Mahaprabhu found some genuine symptoms of rāga-bhakti. That gentleman, that Samariya Brahmin, a Brahmin of lower caste, who found Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Dev, wandering in Vrindavan in his mode of quest of Krishna. Then he invited him to his house as guest and asked Mahaprabhu, "You revered sannyasi, have you any connection with Mādhavendra Purī?" The Sonoriya Brahmin suddenly put this question to Sri Chaitanya Dev. Have you got any connection with Mādhavendra Purī? Yes. Yes. He was my Guru's Guru, Mādhavendra. Oh, now I can understand that without the connection of Mādhavendra Purī, it is impossible to find such symptoms in one's movement as I saw in you, the gentleman told him. Then there was some discussion and he told the Mādhavendra Purī, Mādhavendra Purī, he accepted me as his disciple. And I got some touch of this sort of rāga-bhakti. I did not find it anywhere, but Mādhavendra Purī only started in this modern age what is rāga-bhakti proper in Vrindavan also. And they accepted me as his disciple and also took Prasadam. He was guest in my house, though I am a fallen Brahmin, not up to standard, where the sannyasis generally take their bhiksha. So Mahaprabhu, then I shall also take Prasadam in your house. What Mādhavendra Purī did, that is my example. My example, you are Vaishnava, and I am not going to consider the custom of other sannyasis that they do not take Prasadam in your house, but I do, I shall do. Siva Dharatami Mādhavendra Purī Sambandha. In this way, Mādhavendra Purī is supposed to be the very sprout of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the faith, and which came out in full-fledged form in Mahaprabhu. Mādhavendra Purī, Ishvara Purī, then Sri Chaitanya Dev. It is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mādhavendra Purī. And he was Guru of not only of Ishvara Purī, the Guru Maharaj of Sri Chaitanya Dev, but also we are told of Nityananda Prabhu and of Advaita Prabhu. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi. These are all were disciples of Mādhavendra Purī. Mādhavendra Puri's birthplace was in the Rād, near Katwa. Still the tomb is shown there, the Mādhavendra Purī Samadhi in Kurumba, or in station Koichor, Bardhaman Katwa, meter gauge line. Nearby, there is one gram village. There, the tomb, Mādhavendra Purī is shown, signed. He was a sannyasi of that time, very, very reputed man. And it is supposed that he took Nityananda Prabhu from his house begged him from his parents. And Nityananda Prabhu was 12 years or so, something. And Nityananda Prabhu wandered different place of pilgrimage, following Mādhavendra Purī. His day of departure was last yesterday, was day of disappearance. Gaur Hari Gaur, Gaur Hari Gaur. Mādhavendra. Where it is, it could be traced. They are our interest. They are our interest. Ishvara Purī served Mādhavendra Purī in his last days very intimately. Sahastre karen mal mutred marjam. Ishvara Purī, he cleansed kept him cleansed in his last days. Ishvara Purī, with his own hands, cleansed him. From stool and urine, it is mentioned. And there was another disciple of Mādhavendra Purī, ostentatiously. He came to advise his Guru. What do you all pray to this lamentation, mourning? You should think that you are Brahma. You have no reaction of this world. You think like that. That gentleman, that Ramchandra, one of his disciples of Mādhavendra Purī, came to advise his Guru in his last day. Why do you think that you have something here for your attachment and you are mourning in separation of that? You have all these attachment for things mundane and think you are Brahma yourself. That Mādhavendra Purī rejected him. Be off, you fool. You have come to console us in this way. If I die seeing your face, then I shall have to go to some undesirable place. You don't understand what is my position. I am suffering that I don't get Krishna, and you fool, you have come to console with Brahmagya. Yes. And so Mādhavendra Purī faith was lost. So much so that he came to blame Sri Chaitanya Dev also in Puri. In Puri. That we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Parampara Puri was also a disciple of Mādhavendra Purī. He was favorable, sympathetic to Sri Chaitanya Dev, much attraction and respect for Sri Chaitanya Dev. Though his god brother, Ishwar Puri's disciple was Sri Chaitanya Dev, formerly. But Parampara Puri showed much reverence. But once Ramchandra Puri came to Puri, Purushottam, and came to see Sri Chaitanya Dev in his quarter, and found some ants. The ants are passing through. Oh, why these ants are wandering here? Surely some sweet meat was here last night. So the ants are roaming about. Oh, what's the fun? These sannyasis taking the red robe, externally they have got attachment for sugar. This is most undesirable. We should not we should stay in such a filthy place any longer. He excited, he went away. Chaitanya Dev was there with devotees. He went away. Mahaprabhu called for his attendant Govinda. Govinda, only one pice Jagannath Prasad. Whatever you get, that will come here for me. If you do otherwise, you won't find me here any longer. I shall be off. And you and then Banginath, another two, that stay here for my attendance. You go and beg elsewhere and take prasadam according to your choice. But only one price prasadam will come and enter here my room. Nothing more, strict order. And that was done. A Brahmin came that day with prasadam, Diksha for Mahaprabhu. Only one pice worth portion taken off from it, and the other sweeter. The Brahmin began to cry, well, what is my fate? How I came to satisfy, to serve the sannyasi? I have come to commit offenses. What is my misfortune? Anyhow. And outwardly Mahaprabhu seemed to be emaciated day by day. The report went to Ramchandra Puri. They remarked in that way, seeing the ant, and now the condition of that ashram is such. Strictly your remark is being followed. Then what can you do? Man after man, man after man is going and rebuking him in a different way. He came again. Oh, you are so much emaciated. This is also not the way of to Vairagya by the sannyasis. Then he pronounced the Gita, Yuktahar Viharasya. Otherwise, without food, you became so weak, then how your bhajan will be performed? Anyhow, he modified his previous remark. When Mahaprabhu showed his respect duly, and sat silent. Then again he went away. Then Paravananda Puri, the god brother of Ramchandra Puri, he came. That man is of such characteristic, why do you care him? His remarks have no value. You need not bother. for that. He does not know your position. Who are you? He has come to advise you such a reason on these things. Otherwise we will be nowhere. It will be so stern to us only by the remark by one gentleman. Then all of us will be troubled, and it does not behoove that you will behave us in such a cruel way. In this way they appeared, many of them. And Mahaprabhu doubled it 2 pies. In this way things went on. So the Ishvara Puri, Parampara Puri on one side and Ramchandra Puri, another side coming from the same source, Mādhavendra Purī. So Mādhavendra Purī is accepted as the Ankur of Gauriya Vaishnava faith. A sannyasi who got the spark of Vrindavan love divine in his heart and expressed symptoms in that way. And from him, generally the Gauriya Vaishnava school is traced. But he came. So in the midway, it is divine arrangement. In Madhvacharya we don't find who took his direct sannyas from Vedavyas, and we hear that he made Vasudev also in Badrika Ashram. But we don't find any justice to the Vrindavan laws in Madhvacharya's writings. Transcendental things of such order is autocrat specially. Wherever his grace comes down, it is hard to trace. Only the fortunate can have eye to see, to mark, to get Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. They are bewildered. The Ramanuja section, their thought is Lakshmi Narayana Upasana is that of the highest order. The Gopal Bhatta Goswami's father, Venkata Bhatta, in whose house Mahaprabhu stayed 4 months continuously in Srirangam during Chaturmasya. And there also he showed his grace to Venkata Bhatta, mentioning that how Krishna Upasana, Krishna consciousness is higher to that of Vaikuntha consciousness or Lakshmi Narayana consciousness. Only in a curious way. That why Lakshmi Devi had inclination to participate in the Rasa Leela of Krishna. Narayan, she found everything and very the private service of Narayan done by her. Narayan is the fullest. Then Lakshmi Devi should not have any aspiration for any other thing. She had got the taste of the highest quality of highest thing. Why this mention we find in Bhagavata? our aspiration towards Rasa Leela also. And nevertheless, it is found that she could not enter, could not get any admission. Only he made penances for that, but not admitted. What is that? In other words, on the other hand, we find when the gopi, they are meeting with Narayan, or even Krishna in the form of Narayan, they are showing their respect, natural respect to Narayana, and the praise that bless us that we can get the grace of Krishna. Our heart may stick to Him. That is their prayer. They have no charm for Narayan. In this way, he managed to change faith of Venkata Bhatta towards Krishna Lila. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, the highest type of rasa. Rasa Vaisha, rasa in magnitude and in quality, that is to be found in highest order in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness. We revere Ramanuja and the Madhacharya and their sampradaya in a general way. But when the fight between the Pandava and the Kaurava, then we are different. Otherwise we are 105 brothers. 105 brothers we are, Yudhishthira so remarked. And Duryodhan, etc., were defeated in perhaps Kamabon or somewhere by the Gandharva and taken prisoner therefore. Though we are 105, the battle on the outside. And when there will be fight amongst us, we are 5, they are 100. And this is also our position. To understand the Brajrasa, Rasa Vaisha, the type and intensity of rasa, the quality and the quantity of the rasa, to be concerned, especially the quality. We have to sell our heads towards the divine feet of the Brajavasin, of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Swami Maharaj told me, my home is in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan, and we have sold our prospect there. And modestly we have to differentiate from those great personages, the pioneers and the propounders of Vaishnavism, with the Vaishnava faith, that is Vilasa. That spiritualism is not mere, not mere spiritual zero. A spiritual matter, a spiritual, but it is dynamic, in its character, and the differentiated world is there. Hare Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Rupa. Then Prakash and the Vilas divided into two. Again subdivision, Prabhava and the Vaibhava. Prabhava Prakash, Prabhava Vilas. Vaibhava Prakash, Vaibhava Vilas. In this way it is differentiated there. In Vrindavan, Mathura and up to Dwarka. Manu Sankarsam, Adi Chaturbuha, in this way. It has been differentiated according to Rasa. Rasa. Hare Krishna. Is the gold for that. Rasa is the gold. And there's so many stages like stamp. According to Rasa, the valuation to be certain. The Rasa in quality, quantity, all these things to be analyzed and understood. Everything is there, Satchitananda. Sundaram, Rasam Sundaram, harmony, beauty, ecstasy, similar. Charm, prem, that is the highest substance you have found in any consciousness. What have reflected into the consciousness as river. This surpasses, the Vajra surpasses everything. It's scrutinized in that way. Hare Krishna, Hare. We are servant. We are sold to that sort of experience, and divine, transcendental, as we may call it. No other charm of any other flame or any other pastimes than in Vrindavan. And we are at the same time thankful, not only, but we are also surrendered to the authority that can take us in that position. And we can find, if we mark with more attentive eye, that Rasa Braja is in Nabadwip also in a different way. In a different way, if we can, with the eye of Rai Ramananda Prabhu, Prabhu Damodar, etc., we can look into the Navadvipa Leela, then find more glorified that Leela is here. What is so dear, so valuable, unavailable, that is of its own accord is being distributed here. That Rasa. That Rasa. How wonderful is here. Our feet should be entangled, it should be tied. Feet should be tied with the divine feet of the Krishna as agent in disguise. Krishna Radha Govinda has come in disguise to offer themselves of their own accord to the fallen souls as we are. So our real fortune is to be found, to be traced here only. We should purchase ticket here and we will be found automatically. We are there, here, everywhere. If we approach there direct, it will be difficult to enter. But if we attempt here, very easily we can get this and that together. Then we will be able to see they are the followers of them are of same rank. Some more interested this side, some that side. And there are some also who have equal appreciation of the both parties. Just as in Krishna Lila we are told that some are more inclined towards Radhika, some towards Krishna. And there are another group who are interested with the both parties equally. So also in Krishna Lila and Govinda Lila we feel. Narahari Sarkar and others we find more tending to Krishna Lila. And there are others who have got more taste for this Govinda Lila. Govinda Lila. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This Vasu Ghosh and others, they say, we could not live. It would have been not possible for us to live. If Gaur-Lila would have not come to exist. One old lady is missed, they say. Punjab 50.
Yes,
Guru Maharaj. One party from one party, another party perhaps entered. It may be. Old lady could not differentiate. Person, both parties meeting in a place, but they left back in one party. Then he pronounced hop and finished. Gatagal, Gangal Ghati, bas, no more. Hare Krishna. Gaur Hari, Gaur, Gaur Hari. Nizai Gaur Hari, Gaur, Nizai Gaur Hari, Gaur. Nizai Gaur Hari, Gaur, Nizai Gaur Hari, Gaur. Nizai Gaur Hari, Gaur, Nizai Gaur Hari, Gaur. Nizai Gaur Hari, Gaur, Nizai Gaur Hari. Nizai Gaur Hari, Gaur. Vipadantu tasya tattva tattva jagadguru. Bhavatu darshanam jattat apunad bhavadarsanam. in Bhagavatam also. This is also pronounced by Queen Kunti. It is mentioned by Swami Maharaj. Queen Kunti. And they of Bhavatu Darshan, Vivadarshan Darshan. Vivadarshan Darshan. Artha Jagat Guru. No risk, no gain. Vinayaka Nikapo Mudha Suprabhu. Tathanati Madhava Tavaka Kochit. Vasranti Marga Tuivadha Saurida. Tayabhigupta Vicharanti Nirbhaya. Vinayaka Nikapa Mudha Suprabhu. Mentioned in Bhagavad, those that want to achieve their highest goal independent of your help, their fate is like a boat without a rudder. Batahato. With helmman. The wind is drifted in wind, in the current wind. No direction. Sometimes this side by the current, sometimes that side by the wind. Bhatar, that is their position. Different forces of the environment are whimsically playing with them. No help. But who have taken shelter in you, their case is not such of anarchical position. Tathanati Madhava Tavaka Kochit. Those that have got shelter under your divine feet, direction, their feet is not like a boat in the anarchical position. But Madhano Dhavotava Kakkochit Vrashanti Margatoi Vaddha Saurida. The rope of attraction is like an attraction for you, like a rope tied to your divine feet. So, Toivadha Saurida, the friendly, the affectionate rope is there, tied, fixed to your divine feet. Tavakakochit bhashanti marga toivadha saurida. There's no possibility of going astray, either thither, aimlessly. Bhashanti marga toivadha. Tayabhigupta viranti nirbhaya. By your Abhigupta, by protection, their careful protection is always guiding us in a safe way. Vicharanti nirbhaya. They do not care going this side, that side, but the rope is from any position is taking towards proper goal. The rope is, the connection is there. They do not care whether this side, that side, not to, with the help of the compass or any other thing, not so much disturbed, but they may try also sometimes out of curiosity to go this side, that side, but still their destination is fixed and the same. Ayabhigupta vicharanti nidbhaya vinayaka nikapo muddha suprabhu. And the leaders of the, by placing their foot on the leaders of the miscreants, putting the foot on the head of the leaders of the miscreants, they go and make advance safely towards you. Tathanti Madhava Tavakakkuchit Brashtanti Margat Taivaddha Saurida Tayabhigupta Vicharanti Nirbhaya Vinayaka Nikapa Murdhasu Prabhu Vicharanti Nirbhaya Tayabhigupta Vicharanti Nirbhaya Vinayaka Nikapa Murdhasu Prabhu. It may pass over the head of the miscreants, the leaders of the miscreants towards you. Spardha, by they can boast of such fortune without caring for all sorts of hindrances that may come, because they have got that connection of Nirgun. Under he has already they have got the insurance ticket, that they protect us, they will look after them. So they need not have to take care of themselves, but the guardian, their responsibility to guide them in a proper life. So your devotion is of such quality. Need not be afraid of anything, any quality of obstacle. Hare Krishna. Vivadasantu tasya tattva vivada. Any adversity may come, but the heart's connection with Him, with His holy feet, that will guide us safely towards the goal. We need not bother about it. So vivadasantu tasya tattva vivada. Bhavatu darsana. Its connection. Nahi kalyan kaschit durgatim tato gacchati. I am there. Bhujyavrita buddhinang charanti ishvara buddhaya. Understanding, superseding understanding, intelligence, all these things. But ultimately, His understanding covers everything. His omniscience and His omnipotence is over everything. So, sincere connection, anchoring. And that Sukrite Purva Sanchitoi Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Purijayati Satsanga Prapati Pungvi Sukrite Purva Sanchitoi. Anyway, if we get that connection, we are free. Wherever we are posted in our life. Pashu Pakhi hoye thaki sarge ba niraye. In the physical sense, I may be posted even in the beast or trees or insects or anywhere physically. But heart's connection, the fine thread, if I possess, then those that have got real eye to see, they will consider that the Mayavadi nearing the Brahma so high, but his position is hopeless. But with that fine thread one is living in the vegetable kingdom, his prospect is very bright. Yes. Those that have high, they can see this. See this. That this physical posting has got no value. The inner wealth, that will come to assert itself in no time. So the prospect of anyone, the position of anyone should be calculated according to the inner and purity of tendency, and not by external opulence of position. Those have got the real eye to see things in a proper way. Gaur Hari Bol, 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 Gaur Hari. The purity of purpose and the highest purity, that it is Krishnaward towards proper Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness, not the words pronounced by the lips, not lip deep, but it must be heart deep, not lip deep, heart deep. Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. There is another slok in Mādhavendra or something like that. Shruti Smriti Purana Adi Pancharatra Vidhini Vina Vaikantiki Hare Bhakti Utpata Vai Bhakti Bhavan. What is not mentioned in any authentic scripture. Shruti, like Shruti, Smriti, Pancharatra, Puran, never to be traced anywhere. Such sort of self-evolved things that comes to create a havoc in this world to the ill-fated. So many things are like mushrooms with some idea. And you just Shraddha Sahibasa, and men of same feather flocks together. As I was told of Rajanish in Bombay, one gentleman, he came out with some conception of so many flocks. Now I am told that that finished, that is Astana. Astana says there is no trace in Bombay side of the Rajanish group. Only a part of them to save their position has gone to America or somewhere. But it is finished, their career finished in Bombay. Utpata Aul Baul Bhatta Baja Nara Darvesh Sang Sahajiya Soki Begi Sarto Yadmasa in this way. So many mushrooms suddenly sprung up and cause disturbance for some time and goes away. Like allergy in the body. Hare Krishna, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. What's the time?
9 o'clock.
9.
9.
Quarter.
No, just 9. 9.
Just 9.
Coming up. 2 minutes.
Oh. Any question?
Maharaj, how did Mādhavendra Purī introduce the worship of Sri Radha?
How did Mādhavendra Purī introduce the worship of Sri Radharani, Srimati Radharani?
Radha Govinda. When Mādhavendra Purī went to Vrindavan, and he was circumambulating Govardhan, he got a dream. The Govinda Dev gave a dream to him. He first took his seat on the banks of Govinda Kunda and thinking of Vrindavan Leela. And he had one nature. He accepted his livelihood in such a way that he won't beg anything from anyone else, but whatever will come of his own accord to him, he will take that if it is befits him. So, fasting, he is waiting near Govinda Kunda. But on the hill, in the forest, though some ladies sometimes come to take water from that kunda, but Krishna himself came in the form of a boy, cowboy, and offered some milk in an earthen pot to Mādhavendra Purī. Why do you fast? Why do you eat by begging? Anyhow, the ladies came to take water from the kunda, and they sent it, this little milk for you. They could trace from your face that you have not taken anything the whole day. So this milk is sent by them. You take it. Then he took the milk and was very much charmed by the beauty, the natural beauty of the boy. He could not forget him, get him from his mind, out of his mind. He was asleep there and got a dream. That very boy has come to him in dream. Mādhavendra Purī, I am waiting for you from a long time. I am nearby in a forest. There I am covered by so many bushes and other things. Recently, by fear of the Mohammedans, some devotee to save me from molestation put me here in the jungle and went away. And I am waiting that Mādhavendra Purī, my devotee, will come and discover me and install me and will make arrangement for my puja, worship, my service. So he gave a possible conception of the place in the dream, and Mādhavendra Purī, early morning when wake up, he went straight to the local persons, and with their help he cut the jungle, could locate the place and cut the jungle and found that there, the cover in the jungle, this big the Gopal. And he installed there. That was his, and that is still now worshipped in Mahaprabhu went and had darshan of the Gopal. Rup Sanatan, they also had much respect for the Gopal. But afterwards, when Vallabh Acharya, who afterwards submitted to Mahaprabhu and was respected by his followers, Rup Sanatan, he disappeared. Then his sons, Vittalacharya and others, were very much depressed by the bereavement of the revered father. Then Rup Sanatan gave him some engagement that this Gopal, you take the charge of service of the Gopal. And from there that Gopal is under the service, the train of service of the Vallabha Sampradaya, and now it is in, we are told, in Nathodara, that's Gopal. So Mādhavendra established that worship there. And Gopal one day gave another dream that bring this Chandan sandal from Jagannath, and long time I was almost buried under the wastage of the jungle, and I have some sort of itching sensation. And to remove that, you apply this sandal paste. And then also Mādhavendra Purī Kirchara, all these things. But he went to Vrindavan on pilgrimage, and there Gopal accepted him and his service. That we find there. And Gopal's treatment, a very intimate treatment with him, and his slok, his own slok just before his departure that shows his inner heart, the awakening of his inner heart in connection with Gopalji. That Gopalji, Alokadam, the process by which a devotee can attain that superior type of bhakti, there it is mentioned that the Kripa Siddha is a line which causelessly comes to one devotee from the upper layer. So here we find the Mādhavendra Purī had no connection of his Guru in this line, but his attitude and his previous birth Sukriti was of such type that Gopal himself came directly and begged his service, and thereby automatically the paraphernalia was awakened in him in his proper way. So that was appreciated by Mahaprabhu and others. And Mādhavendra, a natural gift from Gopal Vrindavan, we find in him. It can't be traced by Guru parampara in him. So it is Kripa Siddha. Gaud Hari Bol, Gaud Hari Bol. Who is asking the question?
Buddhi Yoga.
Buddhi Yoga. Jai Gaud Hari Bol. Jai Gaud Hari Bol.
You were speaking of Govinda Kund. This Govinda Kund in front of the mat is non-different from that one?
He told that Mādhavendra Purī was sitting near Govinda Kund.
Yes.
So he's asking, this Govinda Kund opposite, is it the same?
We are told that is in Govardhan, and here in Govardhan it is told in the Dham Parikrama Granth. So a kunda nearby, as Prabhupada in Chaitanya Math, you have that Gaur Kunda, there's Radha Kunda, Nitai Kunda, Shyam in this way. Radha Kunda, Shyam Kunda, Gaur Kunda, Govardhan. In this way it is the connection came in my mind. And near Govardhan, the Kunda, Govinda Kunda.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahe Hanya. And we hear that some of his devotees are also double incarnations. Like I heard, I don't know if it is proper, that Ramananda Roy is the incarnation of Vishaka and also Arjuna. Is there any connection that some of his associates are double incarnations also?
Arjuna, some similarity, some similar symptoms is the cause of such remarks. That nature, that is also permanent, not flickering. That sort of quality is also found here in Lady Vishakha. Ramananda is viewed by the Madhurya Rasa disciples as Vishakha Sukhi in the internal affairs. And externally, in Sakha Rasa, some may have some conception of Arjuna, very sober and very skillful and very submissive mind. These qualities of Arjuna was found in him on his external Sukha rasa. But internally, Vishakha, that's sober and impartial, and almost neutral, a little tending towards Radhika, and also with proper consideration and sympathy towards Krishna. That sort of Madhura Dasya service was also found in him. So, those that are connected and concerned more with Madhura Rasa, they like to see him Vishakha. But those that have got no such appreciation for Madhura Rasa, likeness or love, outwardly they see the characteristic of Arjuna in him. Oh, it has been mentioned in many places that in one main person, the flickering of the non-important personages also are combined. Just as when a governor comes to visit a district, for the time being, the magistrate's function is absorbed in him in this way. So Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, Yugavatar Krishna is there. Mahaprabhu, Swayam Bhagavan, Radha Govinda and the Yugavatar time that is absorbed there. So Jashoda absorbed that dhara. Nanda absorbed that that was absorbed in that function. Forming in a formal way. And Vasudev, Nanda, there are the Sutapa and others, in this way. The Udvasis and the Gopis. This fashion, this sort of conception we find to appear in many places where it is possible. One function, one junior function has been taken by a greater function in him for the time being. That is in that way. A function of less important also is merged in an important function for the time being. The custom is in vogue, we find. It is possible. Just as a man says, oh, you are going there. One servant, it was necessary to send for this purpose. When you yourself are going, do this service, little service of him also. It is not necessary that I shall send the servant again there. You are going, so you do this. This little function, important function, this is not possible by the servant. You have to go, and this small important, less important servant, you can do this in this way. Hare Krishna, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. Nidai Gaur Hari, Gaur, Nidai Gaur Hari, Gaur. Nidai Gaur Hari, Gaur, Nidai Gaur Hari, Gaur.
In the material world, every action produces reaction that is considered to be karma. Because in a spiritual world, every action produces reaction. So how do we consider the actions and reactions accumulating in the spiritual world.
Clear, it's clear. It is a separate interest, self-centered, sense-centered, and that is God-centered, centered, absolute-centered. The great difference. Great difference. Apparently similar, but really it is just the greatest opposite possible. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, mark very attentively that there is no difference between calm and between lust and love. Very nice. Yet, this last is not the love. What is the difference? দেখো ভাই কামে প্রেমে ভেদ নাই তবু কাম প্রেম নাহি হয় চর্ম মাংসময় কাম. The lust is concerned with the flesh and blood, and prem chidananda dham. And what is love divine, that is concerned with the highest conception of one's spiritual identification. Hari Kam Andhatama Prem Nirmala Bhaskar. So different that one is the dense darkness and another is the fine sun. This is the so great difference, but similar.
আমি প্রভু অমীয় প্রভু ওর জন্মদিনে আপনাকে মালাটা দিচ্ছি
Hरि Bol, Hरि Bol, Jai Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Sri Amiya Prabhu ki jai, Sri Govinda Maharaj ki jai, Hरि Bol. तो माला का डाले गोविंद महाराज তাহলে এটা উনি প্রভুকে আবার দিয়ে দেন প্রসাদ করে হ্যাঁ কই কোথায়
সামনে
গৌর his birthday today. We shall get good prasadam today. এটা আবার কোথায় পেল গোবিন্দ মহারাজ হ্যাঁ জয়চিত্ত মহারাজ হৃদয় গৌর হরি বল হৃদয় গৌর হরি বল Mādhavendra Purī. We are nearer to the character of Mādhavendra Purī.
Maharaj, I have a very small question.
Yes.
My question is that if a person leaves the body when he has just taken his first initiation, or if he leaves his body if he has taken the second initiation, or if he has left the body if he has taken sannyas, what are the different levels of his ultimate?
কে বলছেন
বলছি যে
কে অন্য প্রভু
বুঝতে পেরেছি
না সম্পূর্ণ পারিনি You say, what do you understand?
If a person leaves the body
Yes.
at death, maybe he has first initiation, second initiation, or sannyas. If a person has Harinam Diksha, Harinam,
After Harinam Diksha, he leaves the body.
otherwise Pancharat
Yes.
Dikha, otherwise sannyas, different gradations. What will be the difference?
By surrendering to a real agent of the Lord, our life is ensured. Whatever we may go, we won't be lost. There will be search and I must be taken in the real path, almost guaranteed. Dikha kare bhakta kare atma samarpan, sei kare Krishna tare kare atma samarpan. The record, his name is taken into the records. Mattu jada takta samasta karma, nivedita atma vichikir sutone, tada mritattam patipaddamana, mamatma bhujaya chakalpati. Krishna takes in his notebook the name is yes, and he won't be lost any longer. That assurance we get from the above. Nome bhakta panasvati, tatra tang buddhi sangyagam lagati pavudahikam jatitati tatu bhuya samsiddham purnandana. Wherever he will go, he will get that connection again, and from there he will begin his journey towards me. In this way, if in one life he cannot make sufficient progress, still he won't be disconnected forever, any time. Once connected, no disconnection is possible. He takes the care wherever he is. And help comes to take him towards him. The arrangement is there. Nome bhakta panasvati. Kaunteya pratijanihi. This is not a secret dealing, this is public. You declare it to the public. It is open thing. Guaranteed. This guarantee open. I want to make it known to all. That nome bhakta panasvati. Anyhow, get in connection with me. His saving is guaranteed. Gaur Hari Gaur, Gaur Hari Gaur.
That means Gurudev, the Guru will have to come back to this world as long as his devotees are there.
Krishna in any form of Guru. If they thought like that, oneness. The well-wisher aspect of the Lord, Guru, mediator, well-wisher, Hari Krishna. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Acharyam mang vijaniyat, Acharyam mang vijaniyat. I am there represented, delegated. It is my transaction. None can give me without myself. So you have to consider that I am going there to take care of. This mood you will develop within you. Maybe in different form, but I am there. None can give up me, give myself away to anybody else. That me. So that understanding is within. I am there. Yami Vaisha Bhanute Tena Labha. If I do not like to distribute myself, there is no power in the world that can connect to that. It is my function. It is my authority. My sweet will. And of course, it is expressed through my devotees. Devotees, through my agency. But the power of the agent, that is mine. The dedicated power, the source is mine. I am the source. So in that way you have to connect. Don't be afraid, but drift it this way, that way. I am there with my own acquaintance, nature, love, knowledge, everything. Hari Gol, Hari Gol, Hari Gol, Hari Gol, Hari Gol. Gol, Hari Gol, Hari Gol, Hari Gol, Hari Gol, Hari Gol. Nijai Gol, Hari Gol, Nijai Gol, Hari Gol. Nijai Gol, Hari Gol, Nijai Gol, Hari Gol. Nijai Gol, Hari Gol, Nijai Gol, Hari Gol. Nijai Gol, Hari Gol. Today I'd like to stop here. Then you will come again and I shall have to say something, whatever little, whole day engagement. So I like to stop here.
Goswami Maharaj
Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj ki